Hey, we're a couple days early for the 3-month garden update, but Cheryl X, this is dedicated to you, my friend and subscriber, because you asked about the garden, and I've been eager to show you guys how crazy things have gotten since it's now hot and everything's just growing like mad. But first off, the butterfly bush, it's starting to die off a little bit, but it's been in full bloom and the backyard just smells amazing. The garden phlox has finally come in. It's getting kind of big for this. You can't even see the edging around it, but it's in front of this tree. And this is a perennial, so it comes in every month without me doing anything. My little peppers, not really doing anything yet. It's only just started to get nice and hot, so they will pick up in a bit. Funny thing with these tomatoes, I have, my compost bins that I have. Well, I don't know if it was a rotten tomato I sent in there or dead plants from last year, but this year I have all sorts of tomato plants popping up in like my potted flowers and stuff. So there must have been some seeds in there because they're kind of showing up everywhere. And the fun thing is I'm not even sure if it's like one type of tomato or several, but I've got a few of these little potted tomatoes around that we will see what happens. I gave up on the beets. They just kind of weren't making it. And they were getting oh no, something's been munching my cabbage, I just noticed. But this is the cabbage, and I will show you. I recently picked one of them. And look at how amazing that is. It's not really that huge, but it's perfect, and it's organically grown, and no bugs were chomping on this guy. So this looks really great. I'm going to have this tonight steamed with my pork roast that I made last night. The dinosaur kale is just that, as big as a dinosaur. In fact, where is my dinosaur? He's lost in here because it's way taller than he is. The star of the garden this year is definitely the pole beans, because I have had to cut them back numerous times, and this was only a couple days ago I trimmed them back to here, and they're already back above the windmill vein. And what's funny is the other day they were wrapping around all the way to the tail of the vein, so I need to trim it some more. But I've got little baby, look at your little baby pole beans. They're starting to come out. Oh, look at them, they're so cute. So they're popping up all over, and so I will have a ton of beans pretty soon. This is a random squash plant. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know why I even threw it in here, but I guess it can trail off here if it starts to spread. This is my Swiss chard, but I've had a lot of problem with, I don't know what is eating it this year, but I've only been pulling off random leaves here and there. My lettuce is about done. It's just gotten too warm for it. This is one of my tomato plants. This is a plum tomato, I think. And yeah, I can tell by the shape. Just starting to ripen, but there are a lot of them on there. It's great. More pole beans here on the trellis. And I don't know what happened to my sugar snap and snow peas. There's some way down there, but most of them died. I don't know. And then they're hard to plant from seed because the squirrels just dig up the seeds and eat them. So I may plant some once these pole beans are done. But look at that. Just crazy vining up there. It's getting too warm now to have lettuces do very well, so we're kind of in a transition period here with the planters. Well, I'm trying to figure out if I should bother planting or not, because lettuces don't do well once it starts getting really hot. The raspberry shrub continues to just spread like mad. I can't believe when I started this season it was only to here, and it threw all these shoots. Oops, somebody's texting me. But it threw all these shoots, and we're getting a ton of raspberries and lots of fruit on here. Look how big they are. That one's a little overripe, but I know who likes it. You want to eat that? Gnomes. But I made some sugar-free raspberry compote for my waffles the other morning. I just put a little bit of sweetener and a little bit of lemon juice in a pan and heated it up, and oh my gosh, so good. These are really cool. This is what are these called again? Indigo rose tomato. So they're like blackish purple on the outside. Aren't those amazing? I just love them. They're so cool looking. And when you cut them open, they're red inside, but they're blackish red. See, it's wherever the sun hits, it gets black. So see the bottom part there that's not seeing the sun? It's still green. Pretty cool. But I read that these have more antioxidants than other tomatoes. because they're dark color. But even their leaves are just really cool. They have a cool kind of purpley black edge to them. The petunias in my planters have grown crazy. They look awesome. Okay, we're going to go over here to the squash patch. This is yellow squash, and now I don't know, and any of you garden experts might be able to tell me. They said yellow squash, but I think these are yellow zucchini. And now zucchini are a type of squash, so, but I'm thinking by the shape of these, because usually yellow squash don't tend to grow. See how these are just very long and evenly thick all along? They're very much like zucchini. Normally yellow squash, what you call summer squash, have kind of almost like a little pot belly to them. You know what I mean? They're like narrow and then they widen out. And I picked some of these the other day. And see how they're very much like a zucchini. So they might be a yellow zucchini. But look at that color. I just love the color. These are, again, everything's organically grown, no pesticides, and I use my amazing compost, and I add coffee so you get more nutrients to the soil. So it's just crazy, the color. Like if you went and looked at yellow squash at the grocery store, it's like a pale yellow, and this stuff is almost like highlighter yellow. It's so bright. But I've already picked 3 yellow squash. I've given one to my neighbor, and I've picked a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zucchini already. This one, it's kind of funny. I tend to pick them when they're only like about the size to make like zucchini boats. And I was nosing around in there today and found this one, and it's as big as, it goes all the way, like it's like the distance of my forearm. I mean, it's so long. And I don't like it to let them grow this big, but it's kind of funny. There's always at least 1 or 2 every year because they blend right in. But that's the zucchini. But there's still so many more on the vine here. Look at all the yellow squash in there. And here. There's so many of them. And then if you hop over here, there's a zucchini that's almost, actually that is ready to pick. So let's pull this guy off of here. Just twist it off. And here's another beautiful zucchini. But look at how many are in here. There's another one. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. At least 4 down there. So it's a crazy amount of zucchini. Oh, we gotta say hi to Mocha. Hi, Mocha. Strawberry patch. Strawberries have kind of stopped for a little bit, but they'll come back. Those are some cucumbers back there starting to come in. These are my sugar pie pumpkins, and they've really done well this year. I counted 9 of them on the vine the other day, and then noticed there's actually 11. And I took a picture of this like 2 days ago, and it was half this size. So they're really starting to grow now. But look how pretty they are. But I take these and I will cut them in half, take the seeds out and roast them and make pumpkin puree. And it's so amazing. Mix it into pancakes, make pumpkin soup. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. I want to have the pool up this year, but there's a stupid freaking hole in this thing, and it keeps leaking, and I've gone all over it trying to find it. So, I don't know. I started to order a new pool and then decided I just didn't want to deal with it. And now I'm looking at it now, look how lopsided it is. It wasn't lopsided before, but now it is. Kind of funny, but I haven't even gone in there yet, but I think I will this afternoon because it's really hot. But anyway, guys, get planting. Grow your own food. It's so much fun. And especially if you're in the Pacific Northwest, we have the most perfect weather for growing things. It doesn't tend to get too hot or too cold. And we get the right amount of rain. But yeah, hopefully you guys can be inspired by me and get out there and grow stuff.